Gotta keep them separated.
Offspring, ja, så kallar 4 amerikanska killar sitt band. För bara ett år sedan kunde de inte ens livnära sig på musiken. Idag har de sålt mer än 7 miljoner exemplar av deras senaste platta, Smash. Singlarna Come Out and Play och Self-Esteem och den senaste Get Away har spelats flitigt på radio och tv och alla har legat högt upp på listor runt om i världen. Ja, Offspring har tillsammans med Green Day snabbt blivit ledande inom den nya så kallade punkvågen och det har gått väldigt snabbt.
I remember, talking to you and just go, aren't you like just freaking out on this? Isn't this like scary? And you just go, yeah. We were all kind of feeling that. As far as, it was such unknown territory for all of us.
Men det tog hela 10 år för sångaren Brian, gitarristen Kevin, basisten Greg Kay och trummisen Ron Welty innan det började hända saker. Allting började dock 1984 i Orange County i Kalifornien då bandet kallade sig för Manic Subsidal.
We were just kind of messing around. We didn't really know how to play, and we just kind of kept on doing it. And eventually, we kind of got all 4 of us together and got a different name, picked the Offspring, and just kind of kept on going from there.
Hey, the man you disrespecting me, take him out. You gotta keep them separated. Hey, don't pay no mind. We're under 18 and we'll be doing anytime. Hey, come out and play.
When we started out, it was a lot of bands coming from our area and Dead Kennedys from up north and bands like that. It was the kind of music we listened to and loved. And when we started a band, we never really expected to do anything with it like what we're doing today. We just wanted to have fun, play around, play parties, garages, maybe some small clubs.
1986 bytte de namn till Offspring och 3 år senare, 1989, kom debutplattan ut med samma namn. Det blev ingen större uppmärksamhet, skivan såldes bara i cirka 3000 exemplar. Och det var först 1992 när bandet hamnade på skivbolaget Epitaph som ägs av den före detta gitarristen i punkveteranbandet Bad Religion, Grant Guthrie, som saker började hända.
We recorded a song for a compilation by a magazine called Flipside magazine, and we recorded it at Brett's studio. Brett Gurewitz is the guy that owns Epitaph, and he also played in Bad Religion at the time. So he recorded us, and we got to meet him that way. And then we kind of just kept on hitting him up because we really wanted to be on Epitaph, and eventually he signed us. When we finally got signed to Epitaph, that was when that was kind of a real change because we started to feel like maybe it could go somewhere at that point. But up until then, no, there was nothing.
Didn't you ever think of quitting? Like quitting the band? I mean, you were getting older and like you had family.
Yeah, well, there'd be times when I'd be working and going to school, and my daughter was born, and I just felt like I wasn't doing anything well. When I thought about quitting the band, I would usually just end up quitting school, though. But sure, there were times when it was doing too much. It was starting to wear on me, but I always ended up quitting something else.
Kort efter att Offspring skrev på för Epitaph kom deras andra album Ignition ut.
That was a big step for us. It was like, we thought that was pretty big, 20,000.
We began to think of ourselves as a respectable punk rock band at the time.
Maybe. And we started to think, well, maybe we could, maybe not support ourselves, but maybe we could make enough to help us live. So we toured a few months and did that kind of stuff. It seemed to be really building at that time.
Ignition sålde så pass mycket som 20 000 exemplar och en av anledningarna var att deras låtar började spelas i olika skate- och snowboardfilmer. Och därmed fick Offspring plötsligt en helt ny publik.
All of a sudden we kind of had a new surf following, new skateboard, snowboard following, and they were people that we didn't even really know about, and they started showing up at the shows, but we really got along with them well. They're really a cool crowd, you know, but, so all of a sudden, yeah, we had a much bigger following due to these films.
Started snowboarding, yeah, I love it. I love it. I just want to go all the time. It's just hard now because we're always on the road. So,
Skateboarding?
Yeah. A lot when I was a kid, not so much anymore. I had a real bad, I smashed my elbow when I was a teenager, so I don't skateboard too much. Still do a little bit, not too much.
It's more comfortable to fall in snow or water.
Yeah, to fall in snow or in water, you know, surfing, yeah.
You gotta keep them separated.
Nu började man arbeta med Smash, men även om det fanns låtar så var inte alla lika självklara att de skulle få komma med på plattan. Offspring var nämligen rädda att de skulle vara för mesiga.
And there were a couple of songs that we knew were departures for us, you know, a little different, and we even considered keeping those off the record, you know, one or two of them. Songs like the ska song.
Yeah, we almost did put the ska song on the record.
Even Come Out and Play and Self-Esteem, you know, we kind of discussed it. But what it came down to is we had fun with these songs and we liked the songs, and if we took them off the record because we thought it might be alienating some of our audience, I mean, we thought that would be a different kind of selling out. So we just, you know, we thought if anything that might hurt us. We didn't think that it was going to go the way it did.
So why were you afraid that Come Out to Play wasn't going to suit? Because it was too slow, or?
Because it was slow. It had all these weird, quirky parts in it. The surf guitar was a little different for us, and the Keep 'Em Separated line. It was all this stuff kind of thrown together. So yeah, we thought it was a little different, a little slow. We didn't know if the punkers would like it.
Was that something you were afraid of all the time?
They don't like it.
Always thinking, the punkers, I mean, didn't you want to get too broad? You never thought of that getting too broad, or?
Just didn't see it happening. Didn't see it as a real possibility.
Intention. I mean, we never let it stop us from doing what we wanted to do. We had a song on the previous album, Ignition, called Dirty Magic, which was also slow. And so, I mean, when we want to kind of mess around and try different things, we experimented. It didn't stop us from doing it, but yeah, it's something you think about.
Separated.
It was the last song we wrote for the record. It was the very last one, and we kind of put it together at the last minute, tried different parts, and it was really kind of thrown together, and we had no idea how it was all going to mesh together, but we just brought in a friend to do the line, the Keep 'Em Separated line, and he was just a buddy of ours, and he had never had any experience. He'd never been in a studio, had never been in a band. I just put him in front of the mic and said, go, say the line, and he pulled it off really well, so it was kind of just lucky that it all turned out the way it did.
Did you choose yourself that Come Out to Play was going to be the first single, or did you even think in the boundaries of singles and stuff?
No, we didn't think about that because Epitaph had never put out a single before, and it was really one of the guys at Epitaph, Andy, who said, I think this, he really liked that one song, Come Out and Play. He said, I really think this could do something, and he said, "Do you mind if I send it to some radio stations?" And we're like, "Well, sure." It really hadn't crossed our mind to do it like that, but he wanted to try it. So he did, and it just kind of, he got it on like one station in LA, and it just kind of took off from there. Pretty soon it was like the #1 most requested song, and then it started to really snowball, started to really take off at other stations.
By the time you hear the siren, it's already too late. One goes to the morgue and the other to jail. One guy's wasted and the other's a waste.
And that's when we started touring, and people in different cities started really knowing us because of the single, because it was getting played in a lot of different cities. And it was an exciting time.
Hey, man, you're disrespecting me. Take 'em out. Gotta keep 'em separated.
Started to get airplay while I was still working as a janitor at this elementary school. So when I'd get kids coming up to me and just, you know, I'd be sweeping up outside the school and they'd say, "Aren't you in a band?" And yeah, that's funny.
La 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 la. Wrote her off for the 10th time today. Practice all the things I would say. She came over, I lost my nerve. Took her back and made her deserve. Wow, no, I'm being used. That's okay, man, 'cause I like the abuse. Wow, no, stay with me. That's okay, 'cause I got no self-esteem. Oh, yeah,
It was damn frightening. It was damn frightening watching the sales of our record going up, watching it get played on different stations, seeing it go into Buzzbin. It was just like,
Yeah.
this is weird, you know. This is not supposed to happen.
And then when it eventually got into the top 200, and that seemed very strange to go into Billboard's top 200. And then by the time Come Out and Play was really hot, and we had made it into the top 20, we were like, wow, this is. Then yeah, you could tell it was really going somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of.
At that point, it was fairly obvious.
Best messages, whether it's just a sense of humor or some serious shit. And just musically, just had the guts. It was the only music that really had guts. For me, that's the way I felt. And I thought, I just never could figure out why nobody was into it in the first place. Why all these people were just kind of turning a deaf ear to it. We get a lot of people that hate us now. The more people that know of us, there's more people that are going to hate us, and they hate us just because we're selling records or whatever, and our music's on the radio a lot and on MTV a lot. Whatever. I mean, if you don't like it, turn it off. That's the main thing is about just playing the music you love and getting it to as many people as you can, so they can either turn it off or listen to it.
Do you have the time to listen to me whine about it? It all keeps adding up. I think I'm cracking up. Am I just paranoid? Am I just up?
Green Day suck. No, actually, I like Green Day a lot. I remember seeing them, you know, when they were really young and thinking, wow, this is a great band. I caught them at Gilman Street before anybody had really heard them. They had just gotten together, and I thought they were great back then, and I still think they're great. So, you know.
We'd been booked on shows together even back in, oh gosh, what was it, '89, about five, 6 years ago. Usually it fell through or something.
Because they're a bunch of pansies and they just were afraid to play with us.
But no, we know them from a long time back. We thought they're a good band.
Till dags datum har de alltså sålt mer än 7 miljoner och självklart har det blivit en del pengar som de redan har börjat utnyttja.
The bass player and I, we kind of went in together and started a label called Nitro, and you know, we feel real lucky for what's happened to us, and I want to promote other Orange County bands and
What in the world happened to you? Before you started talking, you used to have a brain, but now you don't get even the simplest of things. Draw a little picture or even use my hands. Try to explain, but you just don't understand how. Can you really loosen it? Can you really turn around and show it now? She keep on abusing it. What in the world happened to you?
it was very easy to be anonymous before, and that's not the case anymore.
Yeah.
You know, you can't just go home and disappear if you want, because people recognize you sometimes. You know, people, they might come up to you and ask you for an autograph, or they might come up and say, "I hate you."
Yeah.
So if you just want to like spend a day out the beach, you know, it's not really the same anymore. You just never know who's going to come up to you and what they're going to say. So yeah, it's a different thing now.
But from now, you're gonna get used to that, because I mean,
That's right. Yeah, you just got to deal with it.
this is the life that you're gonna live.
Well, until it all goes away.
Until we put out a flopper together, even back in, oh gosh, what was it, '89, about five, 6 years ago. Usually it fell through or something.
Because they're a bunch of pansies and they just were afraid to play with us.
But no, we know them from a long time back. We thought they're a good band.
Till dags datum har de alltså sålt mer än 7 miljoner och självklart har det blivit en del pengar som de redan har börjat utnyttja.
The bass player and I, we kind of went in together and started a label called Nitro, and you know, we feel real lucky for what's happened to us, and I want to promote other Orange County bands and together, even back in, oh gosh, what was it, '89, about five, 6 years ago. Usually it fell through or something.
Because they're a bunch of pansies and they just were afraid to play with us.
But no, we know them from a long time back. We thought they're a good band.
Till dags datum har de alltså sålt mer än 7 miljoner och självklart har det blivit en del pengar som de redan har börjat utnyttja.
The bass player and I, we kind of went in together and started a label called Nitro, and you know, we feel real lucky for what's happened to us, and I want to promote other Orange County bands and
What in the world happened to you? Before you started talking
hopefully people are just going to stop focusing on the punk tag and just get away from it all. And I mean, I think that's just kind of shitty. It's going to become a new marketing tag for Chrysler or something.
It's already kind of being exploited.
Yeah.
They're trying to turn it into a fad. And it's a shame because it's been around for a long time. It wasn't the same as grunge. They turned grunge into a fad, but grunge was kind of an offshoot of some different styles of music, but kind of a hybrid between metal and punk. And eventually all the corporate entities or whatever, all the companies got a hold of it, and they kind of turned it into a fad. I think, unfortunately, it's going to happen with punk, but then people will just start calling it something else.
Yeah.
When you get down to it, it's all rock and roll.
It's kind of a fluke.